welcome back, and thanks so much for spending part of your day with me. In today's video, I am sharing 3 Dollar Tree Farmhouse home decor items. So if you enjoy crafting on a budget or home decor on a budget, go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well as the bell so you don't miss an upload. Alright, let's get started. So for the first DIY, I'm using this green basket from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to spray paint that metallic. This is what it looks like after it was complete. I did about 2 coats of this and got pretty good coverage. I'm going to set that aside and take this sign from Dollar Tree and go ahead and remove the backing of it. It's pretty easy. These are just stapled down. Then I went ahead and sanded the back to where the staples were because they leave little holes. So just sanded it down just to get a smoother finish. And then I went ahead and put them together with the arrows facing the same way so that I could hot glue them together. They didn't really line up or match up too great, so I did the best that I could. So I just added some craft sticks on the back, just 2 of them to keep them together better. I flipped it over and painted it white with some white chalk paint. After that, I took my truffle chalk paint and went and distressed the edges. So I just did a little bit. I took a smaller toothbrush. I took a smaller paintbrush and distressed just the edges and the corners of this to get a little better weathered and farmhouse look. And I'm taking this Love Grows Here wall decal that I also picked up from Dollar Tree and placing that on here. I'm not putting all the pieces on there. So I put love on there first. It doesn't completely fit, so I have to cut off part of the E and the L. Still looks great. And then I put Grows Here at the bottom of it, right underneath. So it's kind of in the same place. And then I just took some of the wheat floral that's on there and also put that underneath the wording. Then to dress up my basket, I'm going to go ahead and get some shopping bags that I have too many of once again. And I put some green leaves in there just to get the green color to come through. And then I already had this greenery from another set that I had. I just took it out and I put it in there. Next, I'm going to go ahead and take some hooks. They're hanging hooks for pictures. I'm going to light the end of it. I've most recently seen this on Julia from the Mug Life Mama's channel, and I thought that I would try it because I didn't really want to hot glue this to the basket because I didn't want to remove the paint, and I thought I could take this off and use the sign as is on its own. So that's what I did. I kind of hooked it onto the basket, and this is what it turned out to be, and I think it's so cute. For the next DIY, I'm using these 2 signs from Dollar Tree, Roar Like You Mean It, they say, and also these mixed media pages. I picked this packet up from Walmart. Next, I decided to go ahead and paint where the little sign sticker thing comes off because it leaves a black space. So I painted it white, but it didn't really have great coverage on it, so I didn't paint the other one. Next, I took out everything from the frame, traced out the backing of, or the only thing that's actually in the frame, and got my triangle that I need. And I really love this paper because it has like those written cursive words on it. It's just so rustic, so farmhouse to me, and I just adhered it to the backing with some Mod Podge and placed it back in the frame. Pretty simple, pretty easy. To cover up the black spots that are on the frame, I went ahead and made a burlap bow. So I had this scrap piece of burlap left over. It's the only one that I could find in my entire collection. I need to buy more. So I just made a quick bow. I learned how to make my bows from Caitlin at Crafts by Caitlin, and she makes them look so easy, and you just have to keep practicing. So that's what I did. This is the fastest I've ever made a bow, so I'm really excited about this. And then I just hot glued some twine in the middle of it, and then hot glued it to the corner of that frame. For the other picture frame, all I did was made a tassel with 3 beads. So I already painted over the little black spot, so I didn't really need to put anything over it, but you could see the difference in paint from the 2 whites. So I just made a tassel out of some twine, wrapped it around a bunch of times on my fingers, tied it up at the top, and then tied it to get my little bump, I guess you would say. And then I cut the bottom to get it opened up, and then I put 3 beads on top. This is what they turned out to look like. They look so great. For the last DIY, I'm using 2 hula skirts and this circular wooden hanging ornament from Dollar Tree. First, I'm going to go ahead and tape down the top of the hula skirt, and I'm going to take 3 pieces and start to braid them. The way this hula skirt is divided up, the way they're tied up at the top, they come in like sections. So you take 3 sections and then you just braid it all the way down until there's no more to braid. And then you do that for the entire skirt. It took a while, so just take your time. I turned on Netflix and literally just went to town, and I finished a lot faster than I thought I would. So it's a soothing exercise. Once they are all complete, you'll have a little row kind of like this, and then you're gonna take and braid them again. So I wanted bigger braids, so you're gonna again tape it down to your table, and then you're going to take 3 of those braids that you already braided and braid those together, and you should get about 6 braids per skirt. This is what they look like when you are complete, and then you're just going to cut them off from the top rope that they're attached to, as well as the bottom where the ends are frayed. And what I did was just put a little bit of hot glue on both ends so that way it didn't unravel. Next, I'm going to go ahead and take the circular block and start hot gluing them together. Now, I know a lot of times people take these hula skirts and they'll braid them or twist them or whatever and just attach them, hot glue them to a vase, but I wanted to try something a little bit different, make like my own wicker basket, if you will, and I just really wanted to see if I could push, the creativity in making something with this. So instead of using a form that's already made out of a vase, I decided to go ahead and make my own form. So I'm just using this base so I can get it to stand up. So I just hot glued it around, and then I just decided to go ahead and start hot gluing the rest of the pieces on top of the previous piece. So as you can see here, once I get to the end, I'm just going to hot glue it on top of that first piece. And then I'm just going to keep going around and around on the top until I have all 12 pieces on top of one another. So this is what it looks like with just 3 pieces on there, and then this is what it looks like with the rest of my pieces. So I have 12 large braided pieces on top. Then I'm going to go ahead and take some nautical rope, cut it down to get a small handle, and I originally wanted 2 handles, but this basket is just too small for that, so 1 handle worked just fine. Then I went ahead and took my truffle chalk paint and just dry brushed some of the paint on there. It looked fine as is, but I just needed it to have a little bit more character, so that's what I decided to do. It wasn't a lot. You could see it when you're up close, but I just needed something more instead of the muted tan color. Then next I took some of these boxwood greenery pieces. I have so many of these. I just kind of tear them off of the stems that they're on and the garlands that they're on, and I just am going to hot glue them to the front. I used 5 pieces, and then I went ahead and made a jute string bow, and I really love how this turned out. It's so cute. My husband said it looks store-bought, so I am super proud of the way that it turned out, because that is literally the effect I was going for. And you can put florals in here. You can put a candle in here. I would not recommend putting an actual candle in here. I would put a fake candle in there. But I absolutely love how all of these turned out, and I hope you do too. So make sure, if you enjoyed this video, give me a big thumbs up. Also, subscribe if you haven't already. All right, dolls, I'll see you on the next one. Bye.